Hey, let's make a new update. Update, or this is the latest update of my Factorio factory. And let's make this in English instead of Finnish, because this could be that this is the last video that I make of this series. But let's see. So, what is the status of the factory? I think I have killed it, basically. They updates per second. UPS, that's quite horrible currently. It's under 40 right now. Normally it should be 60, but it's 40 and everything is running quite slowly. But there is a reason for that. Like in the last video, I said that I had launched like 1,000 rockets, and now I have launched 45, almost 46,000 rockets. So quite a lot of things have been happening over here, and basically everything in my main base is still the same, but I have been started to remove all the unnecessary things from here. For example, I do not have any more the science. Science was here. I have removed it completely and reworked it, and also what else I have done? I've also increased quite a lot the size of the science. So this is the science labs. One of these blocks over here, this block over here, this produces 25,000 science per minute, and here is another one, and this is also producing 25,000. So completely I have I'm trying to produce 5,000 science per second. But as we can see, I have had production issues with various things, so the things are not stable, and I have to fix quite many things, or I have been fixing quite many things, but this is not fun anymore. Let's say it like simple, because the UPS, this game is getting slower and slower, and the more I increase the size of the factory, the slower it will get. So I have really need to start to think new ways to develop this factory. So let's check the production first. Let's see the science, what we have had for the last 50,000. Well, let's go with the 250 hours. So I reached the 1,000 science per minute peak like multiple hundreds of hours ago, and it was running stable for a quite long time. Well, I don't know, it was stable. And then I decided to increase the production up to the 2.5 thousand science per minute. And I managed to get it eventually run it stable. I had a lot of fixes that I had done. So I managed to get it run stable for, I don't know, for 3 days or something like that. I had this factory running like 24 hours for multiple days. So it was stable, and then I decided to even double it. That will I be able to go to the 5K? And at that point, I hit the performance issues, and also the production issues, but the performance issues hit hard. So the UPS dropped, and I've been running now and fixing this and that slowly and trying to get the factory to run stable at the 5K. But as we can all see that it hasn't, I haven't been successfully. This is the last 2 days. The average production has been 3.4 science per minute. I haven't been running currently the military science. I have been just been studying worker robot speed, but still I haven't been able to get the science to be stable. But at least I have managed to get the science to be over 3000. And lately I started to hit like it was running like almost. I had the production almost all the time, but lately I have hit these production issues that it's going up and down because I started to find some issues from the factory. But yeah, let's go to the big map. So this is the size of the factory now. Earlier in my video, my factory, the factory size was probably this was the size of the factory or something like that. I have had I have been building since, and the most noticeable thing probably is the solar array. I have been just growing and growing and growing, like everything has been covered to the west, no, to the east. And what I said earlier, that I have removed the science completely. Science was over here. I made like let's go to the red science. Can you guys see, because it's quite dark over here? So is there some console code that I can always day? Let's see, Factorio console always day. There should be some. Let's see. Yeah, now we have a day. So yeah, this is for example. My idea was that okay, I will just use trains to make science. So I'm just like inputting. Uh, Here is there I'm just bringing like plate train and copper train, and that's the idea. So this is the copper train, and it just brings the copper, and the copper is fed to the machine, and the blade is fed from the left side to the machine, and okay, voila, I have a science. And this is quite easy to scale, but apparently this is not the best idea for the UPS, because I haven't, like, I should have added more beacons, for example. I should be able to add maybe one more, or completely like redesign these, because the less I have factories, the better the UPS basically. But this was the idea. This was the red, and let's check the green next. This is the green science. Yet again, same thing. I'm bringing like here is the inserters, and I'm also bringing the what these are, transport belts. So I have like separately. I have made here is a inserter factory. I'm bringing in inserters or the plate and chips, and I'm just loading all the inserters here to the trains. And here here I unpack the factory, and here if I need more, I just load my train over here. So this is the idea for the green. And what is the next color? Let's go with the yellow. Yellow, yet again, same thing going on. That I'm bringing all the equipments with the train, and just building all the stuff as needed. But with all of these are producing quite nicely. For example, this little factory, this should be able to, if I'm able to give all the ingredients, and I have managed to do that multiple times, this should be able to produce 5000 science approximately. But this is not UPS friendly. And let's also show something. Okay, here is the plate smelting arrays. This is quite large currently. I don't know, this has 62 stations. And yet again, same idea, I'm bringing raw ore over here and I'm here smelting everything to the plates, iron plates, and then just it goes, and over here I'm unpacking it. So that I have a lot of trains that just come here and fill the load and just keep on moving. I was thinking that I'm quite smart because I'm using the cars to unload the wagons. But yet again, apparently this is not very good idea for the UPS because the inventory of the car is quite large, and every time when you access the inventory, the larger the inventory, the more processing power it will take. So, for example, like small chests would be much better instead of cars, but the cars are like bigger. I can make setup like this. If you're wondering why I have this thing going on over here, like I'm emptying over here, I'm putting plates back to the wagon and emptying it. It's to it this tries to balance this because not always when these trains come to get the plates, these are not always empty. So it could be that there is already like first wagon has already like 500 plates and all the else are empty, so it will not fill itself, with the same amount and the same speed. So I'm trying to like balance it over the time that okay, if I do this and there is a train for the long time, it will balance this over like multiple hours. But this idea doesn't work in practice because if I start to run out of plates, like the input of the plates has to be bigger than the output. It works then, but if we go in the totally different direction, that the output of the plates is bigger than the input, then this doesn't work. But here is the like example of this train. The first 3 wagons are not empty, like the cars are full. It can only put stuff to here, so it starts to move the plates to the next wagon and next wagon and next wagon and next wagon, and each of these wagons will start to. Okay, this is not permanent setting, the day settings. So yeah, the cars, the wagons will eventually empty itself to some of these cars. But this was a bad idea if we think about the UPS. This will take, I think, this will take way too much performance, and I probably need to switch all my smelting instead of running like a central smelting array over here. I need to move on premises, or over here is let's say here is a copper. So instead of like getting the stuff with the trains, loading them to the 2 trains, I need to like get the stuff and input the ore directly to the train and maybe even do the smelting at the same time, because I already have mining productivity is on over 150 currently. So these, like here we can see productivity plus over 1.5 thousand%. So the productivity is insane. So I don't need to worry if I'm not the most efficient with the digging stuff up. And this seems to be the way how the guys or the people are doing that when they go big. go and make a huge factory that they will just dig the stuff directly to the train. So I'll have to do that, and that will hopefully improve the UPS. And I will remove completely this, and maybe I will start to use robots to fill the trains instead of like belts or whatever. But in that case, if I start to use robots, I have to completely take away my robot network, because currently, let's go big. This is my Roboport network, and this okay, because I'm currently I have enemies everywhere. This is not a dead world, but anyway, this is a world, train world with enemies, and they are all constantly attacking me because the pollution is quite bad. I have walls over here, and I have to constantly repair my walls. And for that purposes, I have just decided that okay, because I need to prepare the walls and I have to constantly build the solar arrays, okay, I will just make a huge Roboport network. But if I have a huge Roboport network, I cannot load these trains locally. Or I have to separate make a own local network over here. And probably there is a big chance that this huge Robo network, this also takes like a lot of UPS to update everything. What I'm quite certain that, because over here, let's jump from one thing to another. I've added radars. Radars are like in every freaking solar array I have over here. I've added radars, and these, well, they are unnecessary over here first of all, but they are very helpful while I'm building. So I have to delete all of these just that I can drop the UPS, and also because these are taking quite a lot of electricity. Let's see the electricity. So yep, I'm currently taking just 1.5 gigawatts of power, just the radars. It's 3 times more than the Roboports, and I have 10,000 Roboports currently installed. So yeah. Talking about the electricity, currently the factory is using 32 gigawatts. This is just, well, this is not enough to run the factory. I need to update this to 40 gigawatts at least. But maybe the first thing is just to get rid of the radars and Roboports. And because I want to remove the Roboports, I will get rid of these enemies. Because these are not a challenge anymore. They are just annoyance to me. So I will remove all of these. Then I can remove the walls, and then I can just fill all the lakes. I've been doing that already. It was another spider-tron. So I need to fill the lakes and then just make one freaking huge solar array and stop playing around. So yeah, but yeah, the fact is that currently the game is unplayable for me. This is like 40 updates per second, so I have to really do something about this before I can make the factory any bigger. Like for example, for some reason this daytime, this doesn't stop the runtime of time. So anyway, this is for example my red science. This is quite large. Yet again, I'm bringing the plastic and the copper and the green science, I think, yeah, green science, and I'm making everything over here. But I need to add more of this. What these are? These things, pecans. So yeah, it's quite funny, in fact, that I'm running currently the factories. It will do 2.5. I know that that was stable for me. And like I said earlier, science it has been doing for the last 50 hours. So 250 hours is 2.2 and 50 hours is 3.4. So it can do quite a lot even in this unstable unstable situation. So this is quite capable factory, but this is the size of the blue science. This is actually quite small because this is what I'm handling currently. This is the green science, and this green science is double the size of the blue science. But the amount of the red science that I have, this is like a insane. So the amount of the blue science that I need, this is not that bad. In fact, this is like barely enough. I really need to update this also a little bit, but this is not a large installation. And in fact, the green science over here, this is also quite small. Over here, I'm also using the cars. I really need to get rid of these as well. But yeah, I'm rambling. This is the current state of the factory. While I was speaking, I managed to launch over 46,000 rockets. So maybe I don't even want to run there. But yeah, I will stop over here. So this is my rocket factory. This is launching all the rockets. I need to have 12 of these. Maybe 16 should be better. 8 is not enough. So this is completely like all the time these rockets are launching, and I'm just bringing in these low density structures, oil, and these control units. What these are? These are yeah. I think these were control units, and yeah, when it like this is quite funny because when I bring in 8 wagons full of ingredients, it is enough to launch 4 rockets. So when I get rid of all the equipments, I have started to lose my voice. So yeah, when I manage to launch the rockets, I'll get the I'll get the science back to the train, and I just get the full load, full load over here. So yeah, this is my so yeah now I have started to lose completely my voice. So yeah, time to stop then. So this is my little factory, and I have broken it. and I don't know will I fix it, because it will be a big hassle. I think it can be done. It can be done if I just fix the smelt, or it will be it will become better when I will fix the smelting and fix the, well, I will begin with the smelting, and I will begin with the removing of the radars. There must be like a console command that I can just remove every freaking radar. Or I just use the, maybe I will use this deconstruction planner, like so. Yeah, let's remove the first one from there. No, why it removed like so? Now I was able to remove the first one. So yep, I need to remove the radars, and I need to remove the freaking enemies. They do not improve the situation anymore. Ah yeah, and I managed to get run out of power. Yeah, no power at all. So yep, this is my broken factory. I have a lot of things to do. I have done already quite a lot of things. So yeah. Anyway, if if somebody was interested to see how one can make a quite big factory and finally break it completely, I have like a few videos about that. Sadly, all the else videos are made in Finnish, and this is only one in Finnish. But yeah, thanks for the watching, and yes, see you again, maybe. Bye bye.